So, good morning, everyone. Good afternoon, good evening. Lovely to see you all again. We have an interesting topic today. Let me see if I can share my screen, see if all this goes. So, we're going to talk about a, a topic called what to say when you talk to yourself. And this is based on the work of a magnificent man called Dr. Shad Helmstetter. So, interesting name, German gentleman, Dr. Shad Helmstetter. He has done an amazing amount of research over the years on this particular topic. So, first of all, what is self-talk? What is it? Well, it's the inner dialogue that we have with ourselves. And I'm sure you're aware of it, but it's strange that a lot of people don't realize how much inner dialogue we have. They don't realize it's happening in the background, literally constantly. Your thoughts, your beliefs, and your self-directed comments you say to yourself. Our self-talk actually shapes completely our attitude, our emotions, and our behaviors. Now, they've done quite a bit of research on how many thoughts we have in a day. And the different studies show different amounts. But every one of them show we have over 60,000 thoughts a day. Over 60,000 thoughts every day, which is an amazing amount. And these thoughts program our mind. The good news is self-talk can be consciously controlled. You can take charge of your self-talk. You can direct it. You can decide what it is you say to yourself. And you can decide to turn it into a positive direction. And all of us are guilty of having negative thoughts every now and again. So let's look at the power of self-talk. I'm not exaggerating when I say that it literally is, it's like a computer. It is the brain's operating system. The brain's operating system. You are programming and you are constantly reprogramming yourself through your thoughts. And your thoughts will then program your beliefs, which will affect your actions, which will result in your outcome. And your thoughts create all of that. Negative self-talk equals negative outcomes. It's very simple. I mean, you've all heard this saying that's been around for about 50 years to do with computers, garbage in, garbage out. It's the same with us. Positive self-talk equals positive results. Okay. You know, look at athletes. Athletes, look at the Olympics going on now. These men and women are just incredible. They have learned to use their mind in such a positive way. They're always giving themselves affirmations, talking to themselves, boosting themselves with the language that they are constantly using. Okay. So be aware. Now let's look at the levels. There are 5 different levels of self-talk. Level 1, we would call that negative. You are accepting bad outcomes. You are reinforcing failure. And you see this all the time. People use language like, I can't. I'm not good at this. How often have you heard people say, oh, I can't sing, or I can't dance, or I can't do this, I can't do that, which is not true, of course. You can. You are reinforcing the negative and the failure all the time. So that's level 1. Level 2 is recognition but no change. Where you say things to yourself like, um, yeah, I should. I should be healthier. I should eat better. I shouldn't drink alcohol. I should give up cigarettes. I should walk more. I shouldn't watch television as much. So, level two, you recognize, but there's actually no change taking place at all. Level three is where we begin to head in the right direction. A decision to change, however, no action. And the language people use is typical, I never want to do that again. I never want to experience this in my life again. I never want to engage with these type of people again. I never want to have this type of relationship again. I never want to eat those type of bad foods again. It makes me feel terrible. So you know what you should do, but there's still no real action following it up. Level four is when we now start to make a positive change, where you start to use positive affirmations. Positive affirmations. And the most powerful phrase in the world is I am. It is a statement of being. It is a statement of you recognizing how incredible you are, that you are a superhuman in this universe, in this great simulation that we all live in, and we can alter this simulated world we live in. And you do it by starting with the words, I am, a statement of being, a statement of purpose. And then the fifth level, you add to that, I am always learning and growing. I am happy, healthy, wealthy, healed, and whole. There are so many wonderful affirmations that you can have. So it starts with I am. And you all know when you do an affirmation, it should be all the P's. So personal, present, positive. So you don't say, I will, I will be healthier next month. I will start walking. I will do 10,000 steps. I will give up alcohol. You don't talk about the future. You always use present tense. So you say, I am. Okay, so personal, meaning I, present, and positive. These are the three main characteristics of a good affirmation. So let's look at the next slide. See, the brain listens to everything you say. But more than that, and this could be a good thing, this could be a bad thing, the brain believes everything you say. So it listens to and it believes. So every time you say something to yourself, you're literally giving yourself an instruction. Now, people they sometimes get this wrong. Let's say you smoke cigarettes, for example, and you want to stop. And you say, I don't smoke cigarettes. I don't smoke cigarettes. That might be your affirmation. The brain, the subconscious that is, doesn't recognize the negative word like no or don't. So it deletes it. So when you say, I don't smoke cigarettes, what does your brain hear? It hears, I smoke cigarettes. Or I don't drink alcohol. I don't drink alcohol. What your brain hears is, I drink alcohol. And it programs that. So you've got to be careful with the words you use. Words are so important. And like I said, the brain cannot distinguish between I am and I am not. Be aware of that. Don't use the word not. It simply absorbs what you say, reprograms you. So this is good. It's good that we know this because we can now replace self-limiting statements with empowering alternatives. We can just change. So it's important that you start to recognize the language you are using yourself. So your self-talk writes the codes and programs you. Your beliefs, it turns into your belief. What is a belief? What is a belief? Everyone in the world has got beliefs, and especially to do with politics and religion and this and that and many big topics. What is a belief? Esther Hicks gave a great definition of a belief. She said, a belief is a thought you keep having. A belief is a thought you keep having. I like that because I can change my thoughts. Here's a question for you. Your beliefs, whatever they are, do they serve you? Do they serve you? And how do they serve you? Do they empower you? How do they empower you? Or do they disempower you? I don't know. You'll have to look into your own mind and make that decision. Repetition is the key. And the good news is you and I, we can change like that. We can change in an instant. You can start drinking a cup of coffee as one person and you can finish it as another. You can change that quickly. And you can change so easily just by recognizing the language you're currently using, understanding the language you are currently using, and altering it. Just changing it. Just making it more personal, positive. Okay? And doing it a lot. You need to get into the habit of doing it and doing it a lot. So, use on the slide here, use present tense and perfect tense, meaning I am, like I've already said, very powerful. Make it positive, precise, so accurate, to the point, not vague. You know, you don't say things like, I am wealthy, because what does that mean? You would pick a figure. You would say, I have X amount in my bank account. I have X amount in my bank account. Or I am delighted that I have X amount in my bank account right now. So you should be precise, personal. Repeat it regularly. Do it when you wake up in the morning and you're lying in bed before you throw the covers off and you get out. Say 2 or 3 affirmations in your mind. When you're in the bathroom brushing your teeth in front of the mirror, say it to yourself in the mirror. When you're driving your car, turn the radio down for 5 minutes and just spend 5 minutes repeating these affirmations to yourself. Okay. And affirmations, they need to feel believable and relevant. But do they? Do they? Not really. Not really. You see, sometimes when you say affirmations to yourself, you have difficulty believing them. What I say is, you are telling the future in advance. So you are telling the truth. You are simply telling the future in advance. Because a little voice, when you say to yourself, I am fit, I am healthy, or I am this, or I have this amount of savings in my bank account, a little voice will say, no, you don't. No, you don't. Don't be silly. Don't delude yourself. Don't be delusional. This little voice, and you need to overpower the voice with more affirmations. And you say to yourself, yes, I do. And yes, I am. And I am simply telling the future in advance. And repeat it daily. I can't emphasize this enough. Repeat it daily. I'll give you some figures in a minute. So, applying self-talk to your daily life, what does it help with? Well, it helps to overcome stress, fear, procrastination. It builds self-confidence and motivation. It really does. It will improve your habits and your relationships. And you become your habits. I can't emphasize this enough. You are your habits. So look at your habits. Do they empower you? Do they serve you? What other new habits might be a little bit more empowering? So your self-talk perpetuates your habits become you. It will improve relationships. Self-talk will strengthen your mindset. It will make you a stronger person. It builds unshakable belief. You'll start to develop healthier habits. You'll start to look at certain foods and say, no, I don't eat that. No, that's not me. You start to tell a different story about yourself in your own mind. Try and get into a routine, morning and evening, morning and evening. First thing when you get up in the morning, you say 5 minutes of affirmations, and you can say them while you're doing other things, while you're brushing your teeth, while you're having a shower, while you're making your morning coffee. You don't have to just stand and do nothing but the affirmations. So I'm not asking you to create an extra 5 minutes in the day. You can do it while you're doing something else. In the evening, whatever your routine is before you go to bed, getting undressed, brushing your teeth, maybe having a shower, whatever, say it in your mind while you're doing that. And it will develop much healthier habits. You've all heard the saying, it takes 21 days to make or break a habit. There's been some new research out there, and it now shows it takes between 21 and 66 days, depending on the type of habit. You know, whether if it's a deeply embedded habit like smoking or drinking alcohol or that type of thing, it takes a little bit longer. But between 21 and 66 days to form a completely new habit. So the important thing is to do it each day, morning and evening. Make it the new you. So a few takeaways. You become what you repeatedly say to yourself consistently. The good news is you are like a computer and you can reprogram yourself. It's not difficult at all. I promise you, it's not difficult. It's childishly simple and easy. It's a conscious daily practice. Takes a few minutes. It requires just a tiny bit of effort and repetition. And it becomes a lifelong practice. You start to say things to yourself in your own mind deliberately, not just letting things come. And the important thing is to keep at it. So the next steps, the most influential conversation you will ever have in your life is with yourself. So what I would love all of you to do over the next few days is just become aware. Just become aware of the self-talk you currently have. Monitor it. Just say to yourself, what have I been thinking in the last 20 minutes? What thoughts have I had in the last 15, 20 minutes? What type of thoughts have they been? So just monitor your internal dialogue for a day, for 2 days. Notice the type of words you're using. Notice the type of language, the type of feeling. This is important. Notice the type of feeling it gives you. And here's a little challenge for you all. You don't have to do it if you don't want. I'd like you to catch yourself having a negative self-talk moment and deliberately reframe it. Just deliberately choose some extra different positive words. So just catch yourself thinking, oh, goodness, what have I been thinking just now? Oh, that was a negative thought. How could I reword that in my mind to make it positive? So I'd love you to catch yourself doing that. And if you want, you could even email me. You don't have to, but you could. Okay. So that's it for today. Relatively short one, but actually it's the foundation of everything. What you say when you talk to yourself will make you who you are. The person you are today and the person that you will be in 1 year from today will be dictated by the self-talk you have within the next year. So you need to ask yourself, are you absolutely overjoyed with the person you are now? And if you are, fantastic. And if there are some changes you'd like to make, if you would like to be a different person in a different place, mentally, physically, psychologically, emotionally, a year from now, then consciously become aware of the language you're using and consciously look at replacing some of that language and making it more personal, present, positive. Okay. Any questions on that before I stop the recording? I'll stop the share while I'm doing that. No, no one cares. I know. That's fine. I take rejection very well. Oh dear. Okay. Well, listen, it's lovely to see you all. It really is. I thoroughly enjoy seeing everyone's faces on these meetings because, and it's, I just wish we could be together more, but life is life.